Following video is not made for kids. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello to my subscribers. This is the TFN Geek coming to you with what will hopefully be a successful review. But before we start, I have just a few quick announcements. For those of you wondering why I haven't done any reviews this week, and why my voice might sound, I don't like it's a little off. I started my brand new job this week. It's a full-time job where I work all day long, and I have to get up early in the morning to get to my job on time. So from the time I get up to the time I get home is roughly 12 hours, which is half of the day, so I'm exhausted by the end. So any and all future reviews that I record and upload to my channel will most likely happen during the weekend, so I hope it's a weekend treat that you guys will be able to enjoy. So that's and then also I've been fighting a head cold since Thursday night, so nothing serious. I don't have a fever or anything. I just have congested sinuses, so it's been very hard for me to talk. But hopefully I'm starting to get over it now, and I'll finally have the strength to review a bunch of Transformers action figures I've been wanting to review for a long time. So for those of you who might have noticed the thumbnail of the video, it's no joke. Today we're going to be taking a look at not one or two, but all five of the Legacy Evolution, or Legacy Year 1, I should more correctly say. We're going to be taking a look at all five of the Stunticons. So yeah, here they all are all lined up with each other. So let's take a quick look at them all while they're still inside their boxes. Here's the first one of them, who was released 1.5 years ago, around between January and February of 2022. Here is Dragstrip, and when Dragstrip was first released at the start of the Legacy line, the Stunticons started off strong. Everyone thought these were going to be once all five of them were released, that the Legacy version of Menasor was going to be the next incredible combiner. But as more of the Stunticons ended up being released, Dragstrip unfortunately ended up being one of the best out of all five of them. And then by the time we got to the end, rather than being a new mold, the last of the Stunticons who was released ended up being a retool of one of the ones that had been released earlier. And so the Stunticons started off strong, but ended on kind of a sour note. This is not my own opinion. This has been the general consensus amongst a majority of Transformers fans and collectors. So as far as which version of Menasor is the best one, the Legacy version or the Combiner Wars version, from what I've seen from the overall opinion of other Transformers fans and collectors, it's a toss-up. It's all personal opinion which version of the Stunticons you enjoy more. If you enjoy the Combiner Wars or Legacy versions of them more than the other. So yes, unfortunately there's no clear-cut winner as far as which set of Stunticons is the better one, the Combiner Wars version that was released in 2015 or the Legacy version that was released throughout the year 2022. Yeah, it is a tad disappointing, but for me personally, I don't regret getting the Legacy Stunticons, even though I already have the Combiner Wars version. So here's Dragstrip inside his box. You got a picture of his alt mode. You got a close-up of his face, robot mode right there, the poster image for the Legacy Year 1 line on this side of the box. And here's some product photos. You got Dragstrip in his robot mode and his alt mode of a six-wheeled Formula 1 race car. Transforms back and forth between both modes in 17 steps. He's one of 5 Stunticons that combines to form Menasor. And yeah, pretty impressive looking Transformers action figure. Next up, we have the second Stunticon who was released, Wildrider. There he is inside his box. Alt mode, robot mode face, robot mode, poster image. Coming around to the back of the box, you got robot mode, alt mode. He transforms back and forth between both modes in 13 steps. Second of 5 Stunticons that forms Menasor. Let's see. Next up, we have Dead End. And there he is in his box. Got a picture of his alt mode, robot mode face, robot mode, poster image. Right here to the back of the box, you've got product photos. You got robot mode and alt mode. I didn't really mention it with Wildrider, but he transforms into a charcoal gray sports car. I don't know what models of sports cars the other Stunticons are. Wildrider and also Dead End are supposed to be. I think Wildrider might be a Porsche, and Dead End I think might be Nissan, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, there's Dead End and product photos, alt mode, transform back and forth between both modes in 15 steps. 3 of 5 Stunticons that forms Menasor. And then next up we have the last of the deluxe class Stunticons, but also the very last of the Menasor Legacy Stunticons to be released. We have deluxe class Breakdown. Now, unlike the other Legacy Stunticons, Breakdown's packaging will looks different because he's got the QR code on the top of his box instead of the Legacy Year 1 logo, and that's because Breakdown, he was originally supposed to be released in Wave 4 of the Legacy Year 1 line, but the other figures that would have been released in Legacy Wave 4, or the ones that were, I should say, instead of being released in Year 1 packaging, by the time Breakdown was ready for release by Hasbro and Takara Tomy, it was towards the end of December of 2022, and so the year 2022 was over, so Hasbro and Takara Tomy decided to move on to Legacy Year 2, which ended up being titled Legacy Evolution. And so Hasbro decided to, and Takara Tomy decided to acknowledge the fact that Breakdown technically is the very last Transformers figure to be released in the Legacy Year 1 line. And throughout the year 2023, at least for the first 3 quarters of the year, Hasbro has advertised that they have plastic-free packaging. There's no plastic on any part of the packaging at all. The only plastic you get is the Transformers action figure itself. But with all the bad reports and all the backlash that's happened over open window packaging with Transformers action figures, Hasbro has decided to bring plastic packaging back. Announcement was made that supposedly there will be plastic windows on the boxes of Transformers action figures for the Transformers Legacy Year 3 line, which, as of this video's recording, Legacy Year 3's title has been revealed to be Legacy United. And that's another thing you can tell with Breakdown and his plastic-free packaging. On Dragstrip, Wildrider, and Dead End, the hooks that the boxes dangle from at retail stores, they were made out of plastic. But here on Breakdown, and this is true for all the Legacy Evolution figures, the hooks that keep the boxes hanging from the pegs are made out of cardboard instead of plastic. So yeah, that's plastic-free packaging. While it was primarily done to be an environmentally friendly gesture, as far as what it was applied to action figures that are collected by people who may or may not want to keep them in the boxes forever, it was not really the best move to remove plastic. But yeah, that's getting into a debate about how bad plastic is. So let's focus back here on Breakdown. Got him in his robot mode, his alt mode. You got robot mode face, robot mode. This side of the box, you got Legacy Year 1 on poster image, and Breakdown's the only, as far as I'm aware of, he's the only Legacy Year 1 action figure to have the plastic-free packaging and a disclaimer on his box. On here to the back of the box, you got Breakdown in his alt mode and his vehicle mode, and he transforms back and forth between both modes in 15 steps. He's the 4th Stunticon that combines to form Menasor, and I guess his retool arts apparently constituted 2 more additional steps of transformation. And the reason why I say that is because most people are aware of this by now, but I want to just quickly recap. Breakdown, instead of being a brand new mold, unlike his fellow Stunticons, he is just a retool of Wildrider. It's clever of Hasbro and Takara Tomy to try and cover up that fact by having the box art for Wildrider and Breakdown, having them be on opposite sides. But yeah, it's essentially the same sports car. The only difference in the vehicle mode sculpting is the back half of the vehicle. The front half of the vehicle, I believe, is virtually the same for both Breakdown and Wildrider. But yeah, it amazes me that Breakdown's retooled parts ended up giving him 2 more steps in his transformation between robot mode and vehicle mode compared to Wildrider. And of course, last but definitely by no means least, you can't have Menasor nor the Stunticons without their team leader, Motormaster. So here is Transformers Legacy Year 1 Motormaster. He's the Commander class figure from 2022, and it's really hard to tell. Just giving it a passing glance, and you really have to look out for them all, especially for Dead End. But if you look closely on Motormaster's box, he's got images of the other Stunticons and their vehicle modes. You got Dragstrip and Wildrider here on the bottom corner since they were the first ones released. Dead End's the hardest one to spot, but he's actually lost him. He's right there above my finger. It's very hard to see Dead End on Motormaster's box art because there's sparks flying off of Motormaster's chassis since he's literally tearing up the road. And then of course you've got Breakdown on this bridge up here. So I kind of wish they would have made Dead End a little more easier to spot. But yeah, there's all four of the other Stunticons that combine to form Menasor are here on Motormaster's box art, so really impressive looking. Infamously, Motormaster, or specifically his trailer, like most of the other Transformers figures that were released in the Kingdom line in 2021 and some of the Legacy Year 1 figures last year in 2022, some of the gray parts on Motormaster have turned yellowish brown. So unfortunately, Motormaster is one of the Transformers action figures that's susceptible to yellowing really badly. And it was especially true on first release versions of Motormaster, and that's what this version of Motormaster is. I got him right when he first came out. I believe I got Motormaster off of eBay, if I remember correctly. None of the legacy Stunticons, even though I've seen and I'm sorry, I'm wrong. It's been a while since I got these guys. I was about to say I didn't see any of them in store, but I believe I actually got um odd drag strip. I believe if I remember correctly, drag strip, Wildrider, and Dead End. I did all buy at Target. So the only Stunticons I bought online were Breakdown and Motormaster. So yeah, I did have a lot more luck than other Transformers collectors did finding the Legacy Stunticons. Out of all five Stunticons, from what I've seen, the one that's become the hardest to find is Dead End because Drag Strip was released for a second time at Walmart during Christmas of 2022 when Breakdown was released for the first time. But because Breakdown was released with all of the Legacy Evolution Wave 1 action figures, he's been somewhat easy to find. And I think Wildrider might have been uh, more widely available than Dead End was. So out of all five of the Legacy Year 1 Stunticons, Dead End's been the most hard to find out of all of them, even more so than Motormaster, which I find very surprising. So on the top of the box, you got the Legacy Year 1 photo logo. You got Motormaster in his alt mode of a semi-truck. Coming out here to the side of the box, you've got some box art of Menasor, or with all of the I was about to say with all the Stunticons combined, but no, it's without the Stunticons combined. If you look closely at his arms, drag strip, and Wildrider are missing, and that's one of the qualms that G1 fans have had with the Legacy Stunticons, especially with Motormaster, because technically you can have Menasor just by having Motormaster. You don't need the other uh, Stunticons to have a figure of Motormaster in your Transformers collection. Now, granted, Motormaster he looks very skeletal and skinny without the deluxe class Stunticons combined with him. And so, technically, unlike the Generation 1 version, or even the Combiner Wars version that I mentioned a moment ago, where Dragstrip, Wildrider, Breakdown, and Dead End all form, they completely form Menasor's arms and legs. Technically, they just form extra armor for Menasor, or because you have working arms and legs that form for Menasor that form out of Motormaster's trailer. So more hardcore G1 fans have discussed as to whether or not if Legacy Menasor is a true combiner or not. He's definitely not a Scramble City Gestalt combiner, which is what most of the Generation 1 combiners were, and and combiners that are known as Scramble City Gestalt. It basically refers to the fact that a majority of the combiners that were released in the Generation 1 line, they had a gimmick where the limbots could transform into an arm or a leg, and so you could basically have 4 copies of the same AIM figure, and you'd be able to get 2 sets of arms and 2 sets of legs, and you can combine 4 copies of the same limbot with a torso bot, and you would have a full combiner transformer armor. But with Legacy Motormaster, you don't even need the deluxe class Stunticons to have a figure of Menasor. Or so that's one of the paradoxes here with the Legacy Stunticons, is that you can still form Menasor without having the deluxe class Stunticons to do it. You can just get Motormaster and have a fully transforming Menasor combiner. So coming on here to the back of the box, here on the side you got the Legacy Year 1 poster image as I just whack my face with the box. And then up here there was a teaser for the Titan class Nemesis that was released just a few months ago in the Legacy Evolution line. So coming in here to the back of the box, you've got all the product photos from Motormaster. You got him in his robot mode, his alt mode of a semi tractor cab, and Motormaster's own robot mode. He transforms between the tractor cab to robot mode in just 23 steps. The trailer transforms from Motormaster's trailer into his battle station platform in just 23 steps, and the battle station platform is a very loose callback to the Generation 1 version of Motormaster, having the gimmick where he could transform into a gun platform that could connect and attach to Generation 1 Trypticon and expand the size of Trypticon's city mode. Oh, that was true for all of the Scramble City Gestalt combiners that were released in 1985. You could combine Motormaster and also Onslaught, the leader of the Combaticons, with Trypticon, and then you could combine Silverbolt and Hotspot with Metroplex X. But to my knowledge, I don't think you can actually connect Legacy Motormaster with the Titan's Return Titan class Trypticon figure because they were released in completely different lines. So even though it would have been a cool callback to do that gimmick with the Generation 1 figures, the new figures unfortunately aren't able to do that. So that is a tad disappointing. And then of course, Motormaster, his entire vehicle mode of the full 18-wheeler semi-truck, the tractor cab, and the trailer, it transforms into Menasor in 45 steps. And of course, it shows that you can attach the other Stunticons who are sold separately, and Motormaster is the fifth and final Stunticon needed to complete Menasor. But again, as I already said a moment ago, technically you don't even need the deluxe class Stunticons to combine into Menasor, because Motormaster's trailer now has all of the robot mode parts that Menasor needs to transform. So one could argue that it's happened a handful of times before where a combiner transformer hasn't been the combined form of multiple robots. I apologize for that. I was having to help my family with something. But yeah, that's one of the paradoxes with this figure. And again, as I said, the Combiner Wars version of Menasor, the Stunticons do have the same gimmick as the Generation 1 figures, where they have where they are technically a Scramble City Gestalt combiner. You do need all 5 of the Combiner Wars Stunticons to complete Menasor. Or so it's really puzzling how the designers at Hasbro Undercard Tommy decided to omit the Scramble City Gestalt transformation, in that you technically only need Motormaster to have a Menasor completed. Alright, and so one last time, here are all 5 of the Stunticons inside their boxes. It's been a thrill being able to review them all at the same time, so without further delay, let's get them out of their boxes and take a close look at them in robot mode. Alright, so something's come up, and unfortunately I'm going to have to do what I was hoping I wouldn't have to do, and I'm going to have to make this a multi-part review. So part 1, this has been part 1 where we looked at the Stunticons inside their boxes. Stay tuned for part 2 when we look at them in robot mode. I'm hoping that we will be able to also look at Menasor, and look at their vehicle modes in just one video. So yeah, this has been part 1 where we looked at them inside their boxes. So thank you guys all so much, and until next time, you guys, looking forward to seeing you in the next review. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, transform and roll out. Goodbye, everyone.